last one. Let's go see how much clearance we have with these puppies. With the stock suspension. All right, so now we're going to take this shock out and we're going to put this tire on. We're going to articulate the suspension and show you how much clearance or lack thereof there is. Now, as I was saying, we can articulate the suspension full travel and show you where you're going to hit. Now granted, I'm probably going to go further than that shock can go. I'll measure what I go up to because I don't know the collapsed length on those shocks, but we'll show you what you're going to hit with a 28 in the front. All right, let's bring it on up. See if you can see that there. We are really close right there. I mean, not much clearance at all. We're gonna turn a little bit that way. Yeah, we hit right there. We're rubbing. Now I don't know how much compression that is, so let me get it. All right, so let's out the way. Yeah, that's gonna get a little bit of clearance there. Oh, you did. Oh, okay. All right, so we're gonna turn it to about right there. So far that looks pretty good. Full lock there. Let's keep going up. I honestly don't know if we would have hit. I mean, we have got nothing for clearance, I can tell you that. I can't even get a finger in between there. All right, now from eye to eye on the shock, we are at 15.5 inches. Fully extended, they're 19.5. Let's go up a bit more. I turn this so I hit my jack handle. Right now the control arms are about parallel with the ground. Not rubbing yet. Like I said, there's literally, I push real hard, I can get my finger in between the inner fender there. And I mean, we are a blonde one from rubbing right there. On the inside, turned this way, there's tons of clearance. That right there looks like the tightest part, which I imagine you could probably secure this plastic piece back a little bit more and gain some clearance. Honda doesn't do a real good job retaining it right there. Some plastic push pins could probably get the job done. Right back here is where we have our tightest clearance. See if I can get you guys an angle on that. You can see that is super snug. We're going to go up a little bit more. Like I said, the control arms are just a bit below parallel with the ground right now, so we're going to go up a bit more. I don't necessarily know if this would be a problem. Still not rubbing. Like I said, we just start gaining clearance there. But it sure fills up that wheel well, though. I honestly don't think these would rub with the factory tires. Now, also keep this in mind. a lot of manufacturers are kind of loosey-goosey about the size of their tires. They may call it a 28, but it's not a 28. Still not rubbing, and I've gone past parallel now. All right, there's our first rub right there. Yeah, we're rubbing real good. Like I said, it's just on this piece here. If I push that in, we don't rub anymore. So with some plastic push rivets and make it look nice and factory, I'm pretty sure you could just secure that piece back and you wouldn't have to worry about that rub right there. We are past parallel now. Eye to eye on the shock, we would be at 13.5 inches of compressed length. I don't know what those factory shocks go to. Yeah, we're really rubbing now. And at this point, even if you do trim that back, it's going to be snug. And at that point right there, we're also hitting our fender right up here. But man, that's got to be full compression on any shock, whether you're doing the Fox or... Yeah, I'm really lifting the vehicle up. Alright, so at that compression length, we're also rubbing the inner fender there, and there's nothing you can really do about that. It's going to hit that no matter what. So, I don't know. I don't actually think you have to have the Super ATV control arm to run the 28-inch Tusk Terabyte. Now, granted, like I said, a lot of tire manufacturers are pretty cavalier with their tire size measurements. But I don't think these 28s would rub without doing the forward offset control arms. But just as a point of note, I think about, like I said, these are about 19.5 uncompressed sitting on the bench here, the 19.5 eye to eye. I would say at least about at 2 inches of compression is probably what's going to happen when it sits down. So we're going to compare this to factory. Get a measurement of it. That's 16 inches. Let's go to 17.5 eye to eye. That's probably about where we're going to sit. That's 16.5. Let's go 17.5. That's 17 right there. So, as you can see, it's about 2 finger widths, a little more right there. And when we go to full lock, I can just get 1 finger in between the tire and the floorboard here. So that's pretty damn snug. With a little bit of suspension flex, you might rub. So if you're on the trail and you do a tight turn and you jam this thing up there, it might hit. Or if you come off a jump or something, and it might be able to hit, I don't know, with a little bit of suspension flex. So we're going to compare that with the SATV control arms installed. I imagine it's going to be quite a bit of a difference. But the big thing is I wanted them now, no matter what, whether I needed them or not, because as you can see here, this bumper I built has a receiver hitch right here, which is super handy for moving trailers around and such. But I put it below my winch just in case I ever had a trailer that I wanted to winch something up onto. I can run this through the front of the trailer and pull it up on. But unfortunately, this thing likes to rub the ground. It definitely decreased my approach angle a little bit by sticking this big old underbite out. So hopefully bringing these tires forward about 1.5 inches will help increase that approach angle and make me rub it on the ground less. So just keep that in mind. With the Tusk Terabytes 28 inches, I don't necessarily think you have to do the forward offset control arms. So we're going to get this off. We're going to get these control arms out. We're going to get them installed. Oh yeah, huge difference. I can now get a whole hand back here, which we could not do before. We're going to rotate this thing all the way over. And oh yeah, I can put my whole palm at full lock all the way up. That right there is bottom, which it'll never go that far. But now we've got tons of room around that tire. All right. Yeah, I mean, I'm gonna take a still of this and compare it to earlier, but I can already tell it's a huge difference. And when I look right here, like I was saying earlier, hopefully I can compare a still of this to what we had earlier. My approach angle is much less now, so hopefully I won't be dragging my hitch through when I go through like creeks and stuff like that. All right, guys, I hope you guys like that one. If you did, like, comment, and subscribe to follow us for more, and we'll see you on the next one.